guys, Kahir the Conqueror here. I just was thinking and I wanted to share. I, I, I don't know if people have ever heard or seen like the quotes or wise people say, like in reference to a relationship or connection with like other people, somebody else. You'll hear people say you don't really know who somebody is until you've seen them go through their seasons of life. I talked about that in another video, the seasons. You don't really know what a person is, what they're capable of, how they react to things, how things affect them, and how they, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, until they go through it. Because like I mentioned over and over and over and over again, there's this thing called life. We control this much, which is a lot, but in terms of the grand scheme of things, very little is in our control. With that being said, most of the time I see that quote applied in terms of like romantic relations, marriage, relationships, etc., or even friendships and stuff, but primarily romantic. And that's true because it's easy in that, first getting to know each other stage and that little honeymoon phase where the brain is just producing all the oxytocin and all those other feel-good hormones, and they can't do any wrong in your eyes. You can't do any wrong in their eyes. Even if you do, it's like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Life is good. But the purpose of this video is not related to that per se, but I wanted to set that foundation. Where I'm going with this, you don't know who you are. You don't really know yourself fully until you go through these things too. What do I mean by that? You might only know a certain version of yourself because of the life circumstances. Like, I'm just going to use an example. Like, you can think of in the movie, like a jock or some sort of role in a movie where the character, life is good. They got a good foundation. Everybody believes in them because of, like, let's say they're tall, young, or super coordinated and athletic young. So you're just better than most people because most people haven't been able to adapt that quickly to your level. So everybody is going to worship the ground you walk on, and you experience all this success and winning, but you didn't face any real adversity, the movie character. And then when adversity hits, they have that little, moment in the show or movie where they figure it out and then they got to pull themselves together, blah, blah, blah. My point being is, like, if you've only been in certain seasons, or if you haven't experienced the full, or, the dichotomy of yourself, all of the experiences, which there will be plenty throughout hopefully long and prosperous life, inshallah. But you have to learn who you are. And as I mentioned again, finding yourself could take a lifetime. It could take, I don't know, people 15 maybe figure it out, or people 25, 45, 60. I don't know. That's unique to you. But personally speaking, and I'm still finding who I am and still learning more and more about me, good, bad, great, ugly, all of that. I'm sharing this because in terms of loving yourself truly, loving yourself fully, loving every version and part of you should come. Hopefully you have that before, but after meeting all of these sides of you. Like, I want to be completely transparent. This is not junk crap I just made up, or just, no, this is real. These are things I've experienced and seen, I've read, heard, or etc., and observed from other people. You don't know who you are if everything is always good from your perspective, or if that's reality. You don't know who you are truly if everything is always bad, or from your perspective. You don't know. You've only seen these versions of you. You've only seen this side of life. So when you meet the versions of you that are in a relationship, no matter if it lasts long or if it ends short, if you got to experience love in itself, that's a privilege. Not everybody can. Even if it's toxic, even if it's unhealthy, which I hope it isn't. But you don't know who you are until you're in that. And then you don't know who you are until that goes away, if it does. You don't know who you are If you haven't been to a funeral and seen somebody you love or knew and cared about and they're not here anymore, you don't know who you are if you didn't put yourself through a situation, not to hurt yourself, but where you challenge yourself. Let me see what I'm made of. You don't know who you are until you go in that gym and you go start picking those weights up or getting on that treadmill, and you consistently keep doing that. You don't know who you are when you're studying and preparing for things and you either fail or you pass and you have to keep doing that and pick your et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So my point being is like, these are conversations I've had with myself. I've also had with the divine, which I talked about in another video, talking about that building trust and things like that. And then also the spiritual therapy video. These are things I asked for, like, help me love myself fully and help me all this stuff I'm talking about. And then I walk through and I'm still seeing more and more each and every day. And now I can truly say it took all of that to actually be able to say, I accept and love myself fully for all that I was, all that I am, all that I am not, etc. Because I have been able to meet these versions of me through many life experiences. And that's a beautiful thing of life. And I think you should and have to meet these versions to truly make a decision. My decision is love. Your decision can be that too, but you don't really know who you are until you see all of that. Because as I mentioned in multiple videos, but also the one about you have a gift, is basically you are way more capable than you think you are. And in another video I talked about, most situations happen for you, or you can take that perspective. They don't necessarily happen to you, because there is a verse, and it's so powerful, in the Holy Quran, where it says that what is put on you is not more than you can bear. Basically, you should want to meet versions of you through life experiences, because that's who you find out who you really are. And when you see all of that and you still stand 10 toes in your body as yourself, and you don't listen and take in and absorb all the stuff that the world and people who love us or hate us put on us, and society wants to make you feel so less than and things like that, and you can look yourself in the mirror and still be proud and love yourself and things like that, that's true love. Just like, as I mentioned in the beginning, where you're with somebody and you see them go through these things and you can still look at them, hopefully, and vice versa, go, I love you and I'm proud of you because I see who you really are, not just how we feel in the moments of infatuation.